World Economic Forum is a group, an organization, very powerful. They're actually determining and deciding agenda and policy for your life. Okay? Now, just knowing that, on that statement alone, you should pay attention. If I tell you that someone is over here deciding things for you on your behalf, unbeknownst to you, you should pay attention. You can't afford to tune out. The World Economic Forum was founded by a male. Notice I didn't say man or gentleman, because the basic starting place is male and female. And I don't care about his financial worth. I don't care about his what levels of education, formal education he has. I don't respect him. The World Economic Forum was founded by a guy by the name of Klaus Schwab, AKA, this is what he is universally known as, AKA, the world's most dangerous man. Okay? He is. Now, he's the founder and the chairman of the World Economic Forum, and the World Economic Forum is really about promoting this progressive, liberal, Marxist, leftist, radical agenda, and they want to impose it, force it upon all of us.
One world order.
One world order, new world order, you're exactly right. Now listen. He's an old dude. He was born in 1938. Okay, he's been around a while. He's a graduate of Harvard. Now, all of this clandestine agenda stuff that you'll hear about and find out here in the world, and we can talk about Agenda 21, Agenda 30, Agenda 2030, Agenda 2021, and there's a lot of agendas and stuff out there. If you trace them back, they'll always lead primarily to Harvard and Yale, and then the rest of the Ivy League. Okay. These are the people that think that they are the elite and think that they are the most intellectual. And they believe that they should be deciding our lives for us. How we live our lives, deciding the outcomes, what we have, what we can do. Okay? That's a big brother society. Okay? That is a dystopian society. Which basically a dystopian society is a miserable society, because that's me and you and all the rest of us being under the control of a few elite, okay, that want to dictate to us. And I'll give you some basic examples of just some of the things that they want to do. They want to do away with fossil fuels, so gas, oil, natural gas, all that. They want that gone. They say that we can survive and thrive on wind, solar, and electric. But we know that electric comes from nuclear power plants, coal-fired plants, or something burning some type of oil or gas, okay? So I don't know how they're going to create this electric. I guess out of thin air. Okay, they're going to harness lightning. Who knows what they think they're going to do, because they think they're so brilliant. Right. In particular, this guy is out of the Harvard Kennedy School. The Harvard Kennedy School is very dangerous, because the Harvard Kennedy School is where all of this stuff is coming out of. Okay, that's the headquarters for everything liberal, progressive, American Marxist, etc., New World Order, One World Order. That's where it's all coming out of for the most part, and out of this World Economic Forum and Klaus Schwab. They're all tied in, okay? Now, they like to say things like improving the public good. Now, when someone, and what you'll hear this comes out of Democrat mouths a lot, phrases like improving the public good. You see, they're arrogant. They just said improving the public good. They're saying that they can improve all of our lives for us because they know better. Okay? You don't know better than me what's best for me. Okay? Then they say things like solving child welfare. Now, you hear them, they're talking about improving. They can improve. Solving, they can solve. You hear the elite arrogance? That Ivy League elite arrogance? They talk about climate-friendly energy. Once again, that's their war against fossil fuels. They talk about citizen health. So out of that's going to come universal health care, et cetera, et cetera. Let me tell you something very evil and clandestine and dangerous that they're trying to do. When I said citizen health, it made me think of this thing right here. Let me tell you what Klaus is up to. The World Economic Forum. They want to give us this Brave New World. And Brave New World is the title of a novel. And the Brave New World, that novel basically describes what they're trying to implement. Okay? But let me tell you, they have created a technology, engineered a technology, and basically they're saying that they have engineered the human body in a way that can combat climate change. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. The first time, if that's the first time you've heard that, and you don't immediately, fundamentally reject that foolishness, leave. Turn this off. Leave. These fools have said that they are engineering the human body so that it can combat climate change. Because they believe that climate change is what we have to fear the most. The nature of climate is that it changes every second, every millisecond. So you're not saying nothing when you're talking about climate. If you say you're combating climate change, then you're telling me that you're combating God. Because God created the climate and he designed it to change constantly. It's constantly changing. Okay? And you want to combat climate change? You want to combat all this stuff in the environment? In the climate? How are you going to do that? But the biggest thing is, what makes you think that that's necessary? What makes you think that the climate isn't capable of fixing itself? Which it is, and I'm going to tell you how. We've been burning coal for a long time in this country. Right. We've been burning fossil fuels for a long time in this country. Right. We got cars everywhere. Right. Mike, I'm sorry, I don't care what they tell me. I don't care about the signs that come up on the Artemis when you're driving down the highway talking about smog alert, et cetera, et cetera. Here's what I know. When I stepped outside today, I had nothing but fresh freaking air. You want to know why I had fresh air? Because God, okay, the great engineer, not this man engineer, not this Harvard-educated engineer, not this guy who's funded by Klaus Schwab claiming that he's going to engineer the human body to combat climate change. I'm talking about the real engineer, the original architect, who is alive and well. Okay? He designed this environment so that it would take care of and protect itself in spite of what us stupid people do. And I'm not saying that we're doing anything wrong or stupid by driving our cars, no matter what the miles per gallon happens to be. You understand? Right. I don't care how many converters or what you have on that car and claiming to reduce emissions. Okay? I don't even think any of that's necessary. You can worry about the climate all you want. You can't do anything about it. And it doesn't need you to do anything about it. And we don't have a climate problem. And I'm going to tell you why we don't have a climate problem. Because in spite of what we do, every day on Earth. The wind blows. That's the climate, cleaning the climate.
That's the filter.
It rains. That's the climate, cleaning the climate, freshening, replenishing the water, cleaning the air. Okay? Every day there's lightning. Lightning is extremely hot. Heat burns up, dissipates all of these impurities. Okay? Dew falls every night. More moisture, cleansing, cleaning the environment, replenishing the water. You people go and study in these universities for them to lie to you about climate change, and I'm giving you something so simple and basic that you learned in elementary education. You're stupid. Okay? We have tornadoes. When a tornado comes through, it blows all the impurities out. Typhoons, hurricanes. You feel me?
Right.
Floods.
Right.
You think when the soil is flooded, it's not simultaneously cleansed? And it's also receiving some nutrients that's probably in that water.
Right.
Making the ground more fertile.
Right.
But they say when all of these things, when all of this inclement weather happens, they say, oh, that's climate change because we're not good stewards of the climate because we're impacting the environment, the climate. That's why this. No! That was happening before man ever picked a rock up and threw it. Long before anything industrial or industrious ever happened. You see, these people are so arrogant, they're stupid.
Right.
But they tell us we're stupid and they need to set an agenda and decide for us how things should be. Okay, now remember, we're talking here about Klaus Schwab, and I'm talking about, and remember, the last thing I said, they're saying that they're engineering the human body to combat climate change. You want to know what that engineering the human body to combat climate change is? Mike, you're not even ready for this. You might get up and run out of this studio. They're saying that they are going to re-engineer the human body so that it grows half its size. They want to make us all midgets. And their argument is if we grow half our currently normal, typical size, we will have less of an environmental impact, use less resources and less energy, and consume less.
That's a lie.
But isn't that crazy?
Yeah, but it's a lie.
But before we even get to the lie part, it can't even make it there if you don't immediately say these people have lost their damn minds.
Yeah, but see, when you playing Dr. Frankenstein.
Oh, I like that. I like that analogy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They use us like lab rats.
Well, Mike, you said Dr. Frankenstein, and here's why I like that analogy. Here's why I like that Dr. Frankenstein analogy. In the movie, Frankenstein, which we grew up, those are the real horror movies, you know, the great stuff.
Right.
Dracula, Frankenstein, The Mummy,
Wolfman.
Wolfman. But listen, Dr. Frankenstein was trying to play God.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And he was using dead bodies, death, to create life.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
You can't get life from death.
Right.
So here's what happened. It all went wrong in the end.
Right.
Okay? Because man was tampering, trying to do what he had no business to do, what he had no know-how, no knowledge of doing, correct?
Correct.
And that's the reason why in Frankenstein it ended the way it ended. Right. And the message was, you're not God, don't try to play God, you don't have this know-how. Klaus Schwab is Dr. Frankenstein. I'm glad you said that, Mike. That's a new name that I'm going to assign to him. He's no longer just the world's most dangerous man. He is also now, thanks to Mike, Dr. Frankenstein. Because they want to play these games, man. And listen, nobody should be investing time, energy, effort, money into trying to cut me in half. reduce my size. You want to play with the DNA so that we grow half our size? Come on. Real people like us, real everyday people, we don't want a part of that. They're trying to force it on us. We don't want any part of that. But they're doing something else. Let me get a sip of this. Now, that's some of what he's doing. There's something else he's doing. I had it over here. Oh, let me tell you something else that comes from his people, the people of his ilk, people from this Harvard Kennedy School and what they're working on up there. You know, we had this big vaccine, unvaccinated debate thing going on.
No.
Well, they believe that those of us that choose to be unvaccinated should basically be attacked, assaulted, marked with a scarlet letter. Okay? They see us literally as the enemy. Okay?
Right.
Because we don't want to receive the vaccine. Never mind my body, my choice. That's only relevant when you want to slaughter these innocent and defenseless babies. When these whores want to kill these babies. Let me be clear. Now, let me tell you what they do. They also play political blackface because while they have all these agenda items that they want to implement, whether it's the environment or whatever it is they want to do, they always come back to race. They got to throw that in there somewhere because that's their cover. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. They'll throw that in it. They listen. Let me tell you some more things that they're saying. They say we can build better cities. Well, anybody can make that claim, but they're making the claim because they think that they know so much more than the rest of us. We have some magnificent cities in this country. And when they say that they want to build better cities, all they're really saying is they want to build green cities, okay? Cities that are in alignment with the policies of the Green New Deal.